Right. Testing 1, 2, 3. Test. Hello, this is Jake Light, Gaming Loyalty Service. We're once again back from our stream today. I hope everyone's having a good morning, good afternoon, and a good evening. If you're sleeping soon, hope you have a good rest and see you when I see you. So, we're finally back with reading from some reading of legal documents. Specifically, we're back with Twitch's Monetized agreement. But first, let me put up some appropriate music. Appropriate music is just game music at the back, listening to it. But yes, right. Popo. Right. Right. Why we're looking into monetized streamer agreement again? It's because they have made an update not too long ago, as I highlighted here, July 25th this year. What have they updated? I am not entirely certain, although I've read part of it already before this. All I can say is that they are from the last one I read previously, that I feel like might have been like last year. And if I want to say what's the difference on surface value or like first impression, it would be making this more accessible or more convenient. I can kind of see that they have everything, all the supposedly the legal documents that you're supposed to read, supposed to take note, are on the side. Main terms of service is over here. The terms of sale, privacy notice, privacy choices, they're all kind of related to what we're about to read, though this agreement mainly touches on people who are affiliates, people who are partners, Twitch partners, Twitch affiliates, the ones that are earning money through subscriptions, through ads, through bits, and all that stuff. But this one is oh man, it's been a while, but it was previously not called this. Previously, I believe at least 2 years ago, the agreements were separate. The first thing I understand why they made this was kind of like to streamline everyone's terms and conditions. Specifically, affiliates and partners had different agreements, and possibly partners have their special agreements, and still likely they have their maybe additional contracts or agreements or sponsorships, whatever it is, between partners and the Twitch. As far as I understand, as far as I heard, Twitch partners, some of them perhaps, maybe because depending on how big they are, they might have their own additional agreement, additional things to look into. They do have these other different kinds of monetization methods, features, programs, whatever they want to refer to it, that Twitch partners enjoy. So there's that. But until I become a Twitch partner, or that some Twitch partner requires my assistance in reading them, probably not, since if you are a Twitch partner, you probably would most likely I would encourage to get a lawyer to read anything that is not part of the standard template of agreement that Twitch is providing, you know, to everyone. If they are unique, always look into whether they are whether their terms are like not good for you and all that. Just don't assume that, oh, it's a big company, and means that they will provide you a contract that's fair and everything. It's not that likely. That's not necessary to be the case, and we have shown time and time again, big companies are not your friend, not here for you, whether or not you're really talented, whether you're important or not. When it comes to business, when it comes to providing services, agreeing to provide services, money and all that, it's very clear cut. It's not clear cut. It's always devoid of relationship importance, influence, devoid of empathy or ethics and all that. If companies can get away as much as possible with taking advantage of you or me, they will. All right. So anyway, so this reading of the agreement is what we are doing. What we are doing is basically going through it very casually, very slowly, but also not like in excruciating detail. Like I have to know what and every word means, what every sentence imply and all that. If they are not important, I will skip them. I will just like really just explain in general what this is about, what that is about. They don't have a lot of different sections, at least because they have like not everything is found in here. The way they made multiple contracts and multiple agreements that reference to each other, it's why. I would for me it's like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Bad in the sense that if your agreement, if your contract have terms that reference to something else in a different document or different place, it means that it's highly mendable, highly flexible in terms of what they agree to provide you, agree to give you, or obligations and all that. They are very susceptible to changes, susceptible to anything that the party, at least with Twitch, what they want to do, what they want to change. So, and if they do change, that's a problem because of how this is worded, how everything's worded. A lot of things can be done without giving notice to you, without telling you that, hey, we've changed this, so now it's worse for you or better for you. Unfortunately, the laws in terms of this, like whether a party requires to inform you of change terms, it's very, there's no law forcing them to like, yeah, you have to tell the other party that, you know, this has been changed, so if you don't if we don't tell you this has been changed, then this term will be void, like voidable, whatever you want to, how to say it. Like they can change things without telling you, so because of how the terms are worded, like that is unfortunately, like I will explain everything one by one, but I'm going all over the place like here. But the problem with this kind of agreements is always that they are reasoning is that, you know, if there's any new updates, new changes to how they want to provide services to you, how they want to give you a revenue and all that, or we can always do it just based on just changing somewhere that's not part of the agreement. We'll talk about all that here. That's what's important, I would say, because unfortunately in the used to be better the agreement inside that was related to Twitch affiliates as instead Twitch affiliates only was better because they had a lot of like fixed amount of revenue and how they calculate things and how they refer to things, how it is shared between Twitch and you yourself as the content creator. You know, they have all that percentage. They have all the how much bits cost, how much subscriptions cost, and how much you will be receiving, all that. But all those are not here anymore. None of that is here anymore. They're all referred into the quote-unquote dashboard of Twitch, of your Twitch profile, which can be changed anytime they like. That's why it's worded. how the agreement is worded. Previously, it will be way more difficult for them to do any of that, because if they have to like change the agreement itself, more or less they have to inform you. They have to inform you of that. But also, it was inconvenient for them, I guess. Every time they want to change the terms and conditions in the agreement, they had to really change the wordings and all that. And I guess more for them is that it's a hassle for them. But because of that, we're in a kind of worse spot in a sense. Highly more exploitable, highly more gives the Twitch the ability to, you know, abuse the power and authority. When have they haven't done that? Anyways, you know, I digress. Let's just go through this one by one. And if anyone is watching this, thank you for watching. And if you have questions, feel free to ask them, whether it's related to the agreement or not. I will try my best, based on my experience, you know, as a practicing lawyer, former practicing lawyer, although I still have license and everything. But anyways, anyhow, let's start. I've highlighted some stuff as I was reading previously, so if I haven't highlighted anything, it kind of means that it's not really that important. But for more or less, let's start. You know, more or less. More or less, I would say, if I highlight them green, this means it's just something to take note. If I highlight them yellow, it means that they are something probably should really remember what they mean and take note and stuff. But yes, Monetized streamer agreement, last updated. I'm thankful that they put up the the day they last modified. Some, I think, used to in the past, they never really posted the last modified, you know, when it was and all that. And it sucks, because it would meant that, like, to make sure you're still following the latest terms and conditions, you have to regularly come and check back on what they have updated and stuff. Make sure they have not secretly changed things, you know. They have done it tiny bit sometimes. I would notice, because I've highlighted the documents before. If I found out they haven't been highlighted, yes, it's changed. It's something totally different. Anyways, this agreement, Monetized streamer agreement, is between this sentence over here. It just means that, yeah, it's an agreement between Twitch and us. And who are we? It's anyone that is participating or attempts to participate in program meaning to, you know, the streaming and everything, and which still, you'll get revenue for it. Upon your acceptance of this agreement or your use of Twitch or continued participation in the program, you agree that the terms herein will govern your participation in the program. So one thing I find interesting is that maybe this is new, but it kind of tries to also include everyone that is using Twitch for this agreement, which I find strange a bit, since I believe previously their terms are more specific. They really say that it's just the Twitch affiliates, the people that are like deemed as Twitch affiliates, eligible for revenue and all that, monetization. But now their wording is kind of like they have made it wider, made it more general. Like the first one here, it says attempts to participate in the program. So even if, let's say, you are not part of the program, you're not your channel, everything is not monetized, you are supposed to comply with this agreement as well. And the second sentence over here, second paragraph, also like really solidifies this as your use of Twitch. They have or everything here. The acceptance of this agreement and or your use of Twitch or continued participation in the program. And the way it's worded, it kind of indicates that as long as you're using Twitch, whatever that use is, it doesn't necessarily have to be like streaming and stuff. You're supposed to agree to the terms in here, and the terms in this agreement. I find it strange. Whether this is bad or not necessary, in a sense that most of the terms in here don't apply to people who are not affiliates or Twitch partners. So that's sad. It might just mean you have additional obligations, but really it depends on context of like what those obligations are. If they don't apply to your anyone that's not an affiliate or partner, you really shouldn't really care about it. Right, then this sentence here, you'll further agree that Twitch will have no obligations, blah 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 blah. It means that, yeah, like as long as you're not eligible to the program, Twitch will have no responsibility to mainly to pay you. But also that's kind of obvious. I guess they are like covering their ass in every aspect. Like maybe someone that's like streaming will say that streaming on Twitch is like, I'm streaming on your Twitch, that means I should get paid, blah blah blah. But I really don't think people I really don't think people will go to the lengths of like asking for compensation or revenue even when they are not actually affiliates or partners. Another thing I'm very, very concerned with this agreement is some of the stuff I've seen, like changes. I'm very uncertain whether it is true or not. I really hope not, but I hope it's not made by, or partially made by an AI or something. It's what I'm really, really concerned here. Like during this time and era, I when reading all these kind of documents, you have to be very careful, like to see if like someone how they word things, how people word things, especially in contract and all that, is so important. And if people use words, terms and all that is not normal or not standard in like usual practice, in terms of, depending on context, depending on market, industry, people usually use very specific standard words to create a contract. So, and when people do craft agreements by, humans, when humans craft agreements and all that, they really don't put in unnecessary things into a contract. If they are too obvious, they are too clear, they don't have to emphasize anything like that. They don't have to really write it down, because it provides no further benefit to any of the parties. It just loads up the entire agreement and make it difficult to read through the entire thing. Like I'm very certain, like, scrolling through all this, the agreement might have changed to a certain extent, but it could may or may not be AI generated or assisted. If it is, I can see some possibility in it, but we'll see. We'll see. There's some really clear silly mistakes they made, but they're just silly mistakes. Okay. Anyways, let's go on to here, last sentence first. Yeah, terms of service and other posted Twitch guidelines, rules, and policies are incorporated here and continue to govern your use of the Twitch services. So this one, I'm fine with this. So this is important to put in, is to say that not only you need to agree to the monetized streamer agreement, you also have to look into all the other things. Not just these legal documents, but all their community guidelines, their policies, their rules, wherever they are. If you don't know where to find them, I'm sorry. you have to like go through them. I'm pretty sure most websites, like at the end they will put up things like this over here for you to read. But you need to look them up as content. If you're a content creator for Twitch, streamer for Twitch, you really need to navigate through all these pages. Yeah, I'm sure community guidelines or whatever, everything is stated somewhere. It's mentioned or linked somewhere in all these legal documents. That's how you would be able to find out what where they are, because that is how a good contract would be. Not like saying that, well, you need to follow things, but not telling you or referring to you where they are exactly. There's a problem. That is bad drafting, and would open up to different interpretations or arguments that this document is not, I don't need to comply with this legal document or rule or community guideline because it's not referenced here, up there. I don't want that kind of stuff to happen. Anyways, section 1 of the Monetized Streamer Agreement, eligibility and compliance. This one, I'll let you all read this by yourselves. It's not that how do you say, important, let's say. It just lists out very general of like how they determine whether you can participate in whether you can be eligible participate in this program, monetize your channel. I would say one thing though is that, again, they've removed quite a lot of details in here. They just tell you they can accept or terminate your application, to become an affiliate and stuff, or partner. It used to tell you what age you should what age is eligible to join the blah blah blah, but they don't put anything here. They remove all that stuff, which I find, again, like, they don't have to, I guess in the end it's up to Twitch whether the person can or cannot join, so they remove all that stuff and just gives you a really general thing of like, you provide all of requirements, like basically if you provide all the details, all the documents needed to apply for the affiliate or Twitch partners, then it's up to them to determine whether you're eligible. That's it. That's their entire section 1 clause, clause 1. I highlight this, like, it's also kind of dumb that they put this here. They tell you everything, you need to have email, account, address, physical address, blah 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 blah, everything, and then this nonsense of like, please read them carefully about all the other terms and conditions in the agreement and other legal documents. This is really redundant. That's why I kind of feel like this is not made by a real person, or at least a lawyer. Because like this, if I were to draft this contract, I won't put this here. Like, please read them carefully. This one is really useless. Never in my life as a lawyer who have drafted quite a bit of agreement and stuff, seen something like this before. Never have I seen any other lawyers do it, or anything agreement that reads like this. That tells the party to please read them carefully. I would understand, like, if you want to explain what the terms and conditions inside the agreement itself, that would be fine, for laymen, for people to understand them. But this literally helps no one. Like, in the first place, you're supposed to read the terms and conditions carefully. So this is implied already for a normal human being, for anyone with common sense or rationality or logic, a logical sense, rational mind. But yes, this really made me concerned, like, it's made by a human or not. Anyways, this entire section, other than that, it's fine, because when I'm a Twitch affiliate, this is not really that important to understand, since they really just tell you that you need to be accurate. You need to be accurate with all the information you provide, the documents you provide to Twitch when you are applying to monetize your channel. Because if you don't, for some reason you don't want to put your real name, put your real address, you will not be able to receive your revenue. At the very least, I can tell you. Because whether it's illegal to do that or not, it's entirely possible. If you put in a fake name, put in your VTuber name or a fake address just to remain anonymous, the first thing Twitch will do is just like reject your application. Other than that, I don't think it will reach like worst case scenario, you get accepted with a fake name, and something down the line when you receive money, you're unable to receive money, and then you might be like accused of attempting to commit criminal fraud or whatever, trying to deceive people of your identity. Let's not go down that rabbit hole, because it won't happen. But anyways, right, just make sure you write your details and all that, real details, right? Not if anyone here's like a VTuber and you think you need to, and you're like I don't know if people are watching me that are like wants to become an affiliate or Twitch partner, but in the real world, your anonymity isn't that wide reaching when it comes to money. So at the end, you need to provide real details because you're making real business connections, you're making legal, creating legal relationships with people. So yeah. Anyways, moving on. All right, content. This is the part where it talks about what kind of content, what it means when you make content, and what you do as a Twitch streamer. Let me have a sip of water first. Yes, if anyone's here, feel free to ask your questions. All right. So what is this? This is, I would say, section 2 is basically making sure you understand what content mean here. Although there's a few things I highlighted. Some are silly, some are just like for understanding. Like over here, the very first sentence, I have a tiny bit of problem, but it's just me. Also again, how I do things. You see here, it says you will be the executive producer of and responsible for all user content programmed to the Twitch services. There's one thing that I don't like about this sentence is that there's two things. That they don't ever define what the hell is executive producer. They just use the term for you. They refer to you as an executive producer, and it's kind of misleading. Like, what do you mean by this? Like, am I an employee of Twitch or something? They don't specify this really. Like, they just say that you're the executive producer of user content program to the Twitch services. So any normal person would, if they read this, they will say that they think like, oh, I'm Twitch's executive producer. But of course, with me, with knowing how people really want to argue this when it comes to lawyers, is that the executive producer specifically means that you're the person, referring to the person that makes the content. The other thing which I dislike is they use user content here, and they don't define it, and they don't say like, you can look this up in another legal document, which this is explained in a different legal document. It's found in the TOS, the terms of service, over not here. This is also in a different agreement that I probably should look into, but it's not entirely, how do you say, relevant to streamers themselves. Right, over here is the TOS, and they explain what user content is. But in the monetized streamer agreement, they don't say that, yeah, you should look into the definition over at this document, which is not normally what you would do. If you refer to some, if like say a word, like how this is written, it's capitalized user content, and this is a thing that we all lawyers know about, but probably not everyone knows about, is that whenever some words are like capitalized, it means that they have been specifically defined in a legal document. right? It's not up to different interpretations of what these words mean, because it cannot be done. It has already been defined somewhere in document. That's why certain words are capitalized, certain words aren't capitalized. Like, which is why, you know, executive producer, they have not capitalized executive producer, and that could all mean that we're supposed to interpret this based on dictionary, you know, or like a official dictionary definition of what is executive producer. But that's the problem. The problem is that executive producer could mean a lot of different things, though there's a general definition. But what's important here is to like find out what this is supposed to represent. Like, are we the executive producers of Twitch, or are we executive producers of our own content, in the sense that we are like individual businessmen, individual content creators that are providing a service to produce content? That's the thing. Like, this is really not good sentence. But that's just me, maybe. But again, this also kind of indicates that whoever made this isn't exactly, may have made a mistake. A may have made a mistake in like being clear. B, maybe not a lawyer have made this sentence, drafted this. Or 3, could be AI generated. Again, anyways, then we have the rest of it is fine. Yeah, it just defines what Twitch channel means, and what, where, and how you want to make content. A little gripe again. This is something I feel like, you know, Twitch. This is a Twitch agreement. Probably should be paying a lot of money for people to draft this kind of stuff, because it will affect so many different people, thousands and thousands and thousands of people. They made this stupid silly typo, which if I was to like practicing in law firm, if my boss saw this, probably would kill me. Not literally, but you know, in a matter of like severity of this simple typo. Yes, this is very, very serious, very really dumb mistake to have. So you see, like, they have like listed it like A, B, C, D, E, and stuff. Made a mistake here. They made a mistake of not reverting the C listing, and then just like leave it as the copyright symbol. Like, what the hell, man? Why did you do this? It's not. It doesn't, legally speaking, like whether it is like changes anything in terms of interpretation, legal interpretation. Not really. Anyone that looks into this, they will know that this is a typo. But then it is unprofessional. At the very least, that's how I feel. But yeah, anyways, so there's that. There's that. Again, good. This is a lot of like silly mistakes here and there. This mistake also repeats. I'll show you in a bit. But yeah. Right, moving on. I highlighted it over here. Twitch is a live streaming service, and in support of this, you agree that user content will primarily consist of live content. And that when live streaming, you generally engage with viewers of your Twitch channel through chat or other live means as applicable. This, I believe, is new. I've never read this sentence before. Like how they are saying that your content needs to be like, at the very least, in this general sense. And they further explain some other stuff, but mainly this one kind of indicates that this is new, because previously, you know, you think that as long as you push the stream button, whatever you're doing on stream, it's fine, even if you don't interact with anyone. But with this sentence, it kind of indicates that yes, you have to in some sense, but again, very vague about what over here. You see, generally engage with viewers of your Twitch channel through chat or other live means as applicable. What does engage with viewers mean? Generally engage viewers mean, we don't know. This is another, like, I would say partly poor drafting and also laziness in trying to specify this obligation on us as the streamer. Like, this is, I've seen multiple kinds of like this sort of like rule which tells the streamer to do something in a certain way, but they don't provide specific clear instructions and just say, you know, just do this. Especially the time when they were like introducing what we call the multi-streaming, simultaneous streaming, simultaneous stream. I don't know what they call it, but it's found, I believe it's found in the terms of service. Sorry, simulcasting. This one over here. The way they've worded things are like always vague and not really useful and prone to violation of the terms, prone to breaching the terms because of how vague they've been written. Like, it can be, it's up to them to decide. Again, like, because you try your best to do things, you know, to the best of what you think the terms means, but you have no idea whether it is up to the standard of Twitch. So you do one thing, you try to, whatever, you know, engage with your viewers. It could be not enough for Twitch, and Twitch will say that, you know, it's not enough, you need to do more. And if maybe they give you a warning, it'll be kind of them. But if they like say that you breach this one and they want to suspend you or like terminate you or whatever, they can't do that just by saying that you specifically didn't engage your viewers. Though what I can say is that this kind of implies that what's clear though, at the very least, what's clear at the bare minimum of this sentence means that you have to interact, have some form of interactions with people watching your stream. If there are people chatting, not like right now, of course, on my stream, but when people are chatting, interacting with you, you should have some sort of reaction or some interaction with other people. So that kind of indicates that when you do streams, it has to be live. I'm not sure, let me check. Right, this is the thing. Like, I'm looking at this at my OBS of my Twitch tab. They say this, but we have the option to do pre-recorded streams, or pre-recorded videos and stuff. We have the option to, you know, click on this thing called rerun, which informs viewers that we are just, you know, not really actually streaming live, but just it's just a pre-recorded video and you can't really interact with people. So this kind of contradicts what this term is talking about. if we were to do reruns, if our streams were just reruns of like past streams or past video content or whatever form content you are streaming, it means that we are not engaging with the viewers. Unless you're saying while playing reruns, while playing all this pre-recorded stuff, we have to still interact with the audience in some way, which is very confusing. Like, I don't understand what this is. This is another one that's like problematic. This adds no value to any of us. We at the end we don't know. We are very uncertain what our obligations are as content creators, as streamers for Twitch. What this mean? How do we comply with this when we don't know what it means, and it even contradicts with the features provided by Twitch, you know? Though that's a, you know, I don't know whether or not, this is the thing, like, these are very minor stuff, but then they are in the contract. I can't say like Twitch, or you know, this is really kind of like a dumb thing, maybe it's just a mistake they have, so they probably won't like be strict with enforcing this, like saying that you're not engaging with viewers and stuff. But and maybe, I don't know, it would say like, well, it depends on context, and if you're doing reruns, this is not, if that's the case, you know, like if they have all sorts of exceptions and stuff, they should put in agreement, right? But no, like, that's the thing, it's hard to say how to comply with this term, and it's vague. We as lawyers, or anyone really, don't like vague terms and conditions in the agreement. It doesn't help anyone, and oftentimes is very likely to be abused, you know, has a very likelihood to be abused by whoever can take advantage of the vague terms. And in this case, mostly it's Twitch. So yeah. So anything I can do to help with this or advice, I'm sorry, not really. If you're dead, if you do, you're done. You're in the shits. If you do, you're not. You're still in the shits. If you do, I don't know. Anyways, moving on. This one is pretty. It's pretty much the same standard. You will obtain and maintain at all times, and will be fully liable for failing to obtain and maintain all necessary rights, consents, approvals, permits, and licenses related to the use, reproduction, broadcasting, streaming, distribution, performance, and display, publicly and otherwise, of user content programmed on your Twitch channel. So this is talking about, in very brief terms, about, you know, the things that you are streaming, whether you are allowed to do it, whether you have the legal license, the authority, whatever it is, to stream whatever you're streaming. This is covered more intensively in the terms of service, which talks about copyright and all that, but we won't get into it. But yeah, this is basically telling you again that whatever you're streaming, you better have it better be legal. It better be legal. Of course, you know, there's a rule people may or may not comply with, but anyways, you know, if you know, you know. Yeah, this is not something I really need to emphasize or anything. I feel like I've talked about this a lot more or less, like when it comes to like specifically about games, playing games, streaming games, streaming anything that you don't have a copyright license to, you know. It's a gray area. It's a thing that, you know, you try your best to not cross the line too much, but in the end, legally speaking, when you cross the line, you cross the line. When you do something illegal, it's illegal. There's nothing as, oh, it's 10% illegal, so it's fine. there's not, the law makes no such difference, you know. The law doesn't differentiate how much you've committed an act that is illegal or not. Anyways, that's just section 2. Let's move on to section 3, program revenue. This one, important. I would say the most important or second most important thing, which they've kind of made it worse. Made it kind of not worse, made it useless. Made it kind of useless. Like, right. Anyways, I'll explain. Program revenue. Basically, this is the section that tells you what sort of money Twitch provides to you, what sort of options, features of monetization that Twitch provides you, right? And is the things I highlight. It's not really important, but you know, just to let you know, Twitch emphasizes that they have the right to monetize the Twitch services, so they can decide to one day not monetize the thing. So I don't know why they have to emphasize this. This is in, again, like they literally mention this, but you know, I guess, you know, to tell you that we have the power. This is for me is like, why did you put this here? But yeah, they've mentioned this, that in their terms of service, that they have the exclusive right to monetize the Twitch service. So I'm thinking, if they say that, you know, it's already inside terms of service, why the hell do you put it in here? There's no reason to mention it again. Like, are you like trying to intimidate the Twitch affiliates, the partners, or something? Like, we have you by the balls, okay? Just to remind you. Without this sentence, is like totally fine. They don't have to like mention this, because it's already mentioned in another agreement, and in that in where we've been told that we are supposed to read all of the legal documents, and we have to comply with all of them. So all this like referring to this one that we have talked about, don't have to do that, but they did. Anyways, pet peeve perhaps, I don't know, man. Then over here, another thing, if you are not a Twitch affiliate or Twitch partner, you are ineligible to receive any program fees. Yep, that checks out. This is not, I don't think I've seen this one before, but again, they, because of how they want to word this agreement to include people that are not Twitch affiliates and Twitch partners, I guess they have to put this one in here. Kind of redundant. Anyways, during your participation in the program, the fees are eligible to receive. Right, so these are all the things below here, what you're supposed to be able to get money from. But interesting to note is that they say whatever's down here, written down here, are just references. Meaning to say, this is interesting because not many agreements or contracts use the word reference. Ooh, but it kind of indicates that this is really redundant. Like, they can change this to anything they want, really, but I don't know, man. I'll explain in a bit why you know, this entire section is kind of redundant. But anyways, next, Twitch reserves the right to add, remove, amend, or update any program tools during the course of the program in its sole discretion. The use and availability of any program tools will be governed by this agreement. So yeah, why this section is really not as important as was in its previous iteration. It's because they have nothing specific, nothing in like specific details of like how much you're getting, how much money you have, you can get, percentage of revenue you receive, any sort of like formulas that tells you how much money you receive. None of that is here. It's all big chunk of like, or the different ways Twitch will pay you is just for reference, just for you to look at. The main way to tell how much money you can get and stuff is not here. It's in their dashboard. And in their dashboard, because they put everything in a dashboard, and the dashboard is, they have also stated that they can't change this, change all the whatever, how much money you receive and all that, at their discretion. And because they put it in the dashboard, it's way easier for them to do that, so to change things without informing you. So I find that kind of scummy. Have they done that before? Have they done it before? Not yet. All I can say is not yet. But they are very likely, how do you say, they have all the possibility to do that. And another thing is, because of this, it's hard to tell. It's very hard to tell what each and every affiliate and partners receive. Huh? Normally, like, you know, to find out whether you have you need between quote unquote colleagues, I guess, between affiliates, you talk to each other like you just assume everyone receives the same amount of revenue and stuff. But because of how this is worded, it's highly possible to change it according to person. So in a sense, it's like, I don't know, hiding your salary, which is something I always view as very unethical. Some countries have better laws in regards to like salary transparency and all that, but this the way they made this kind of indicates, like, kind of shows that, yeah, the amounts you receive for any of the monetization methods are likely to be different from each other. I'm not gonna say like, oh, I mean, it's obvious it's gonna be different for partners. It could be that's the thing. It could be different between partners and partners, between affiliates themselves, and you don't have to even compare between the different tiers. So until you talk to another affiliate, talk to another, you know, person that is earning supposedly in the same level of of content creation, of monetization, you won't know for certain how much everyone is receiving. For now, I've not heard anything about like different payments, different revenues being paid to different affiliates, but it's possible. It's always a possibility. They can do that. Before that, they can't. The way how the old agreements used to be is that things are like stated here, and it's always like that. So you can't really change it. Can't change it based on different individuals and stuff. But anyways, let me just briefly explain what all this stuff is. So we mainly have three methods of revenue or for monetization. First is the bits. Everyone know what the bits are? It's basically like a donation system of for Twitch, which you pay directly into the channel. And cheering, you know, it's to cheer. It's what's the purpose of it? It's to cheer, celebrate moments, to express appreciation for streamers. It's kind of silly, but you know, that's how they describe it. What's important is that what this can be used for, and it's in a separate document called Bits Acceptable Use Policy. Yeah, this one. I think some controversy sprouted out from this one. Oh, this one has been so old. They haven't updated this one. Some controversy sprouted from this one. I think in relation to pirate software, whereby they were accused of using bits to do something scummy and stuff. But again, yeah. In general, bits can only really just be used for that quote-unquote celebration, to trigger animation effects on the stream, you know, the hype train, all that, everything. It can't be used. More importantly, it can't be used as some form of currency, some form of money. Bits are not supposed to be money, so you can't say like for 100 bits. For people who donate 100 bits, you can exchange it for an item, for a product or a service. That's something that it can't do at all. Probably for like a lot of like legal reasons, rather than just like, you know, they don't want you to use this like money. Because if you, unless I believe, you know, I'm not too certain, unless you're a bank, unless you make you are officially, you have the legal authority to make money, to to create a currency. You can't suddenly just say that, oh, I have, I don't know, I for example, I make my own currency, light dollars. Just like create this this currency, and then this digital currency, you know, because there's no paper, no nothing, and just say that, yeah, one light one light dollar equals to $2 or something like that. You can't suddenly do that and say that, and then use it as like literal money. So that's one of the main things that the Bits Acceptable Use Policy says that you can and can't use for, but probably should read it more. There's a lot of things that talk about it inside. Anyways, let's move on. You know, channel subscriptions. So this one, more or less, if you're having Twitch affiliate for some time, you know what this is. It's subs, it's gift subs, and everyone has one way or another received subs or given subs to people before. So this is just defining it. How much you get from a sub? None of that. We don't tell you any of that. Again, it's all like the bits, okay? Like the bits, like if they don't tell you how much you get from Twitch, you have to look into the dashboard to find out. For example, bits. The only thing that can be certain is that they. What am I saying? There's nothing really certain about it. Like, it used to be. It used to in the old contract. Bits are used to be defined as like. They even have like a currency. What do you say? Definition. Like 1 bit equal to. It was 1 bit equal to 0.01 USD. But now they don't put it here, they put it in the dashboard. I think it's still the same exchange rate, like 1 bit equals to 0.01 USD, though I'm uncertain, really uncertain. I have not used bits. I personally haven't used bits at all. From my understanding, when you exchange bits with real money, I think it's always according to what currency you have, what currency you exchange it with. I think it's all according to Twitch's maybe exchange rate. But yeah, at the end, when supposedly any case, what I'm trying to say is, at the end, when you buy bits, you pay to Twitch first. The bits are never like, you know, you immediately get the bits as a streamer. It's always being given to Twitch first. The money is given to, real money is given to Twitch first. Then the bits are then converted into real money and given to you. And bits are always 0.01 USD. That's something you can like guarantee. Back then, now since how they have like changed the agreement, bits can have different rates now. Can have different rates. It's possible, but it has been done before. I'm not sure. I personally don't think this is the right. All this like trying to streamline everything, trying to have everything all the important information in the dashboard is, I don't know. It's too unfair in that sense. Like a lot of things are not fixed. A lot of things are like can be changed on a whim by Twitch. Anyways, subs is also the same thing. Although from my understanding, different countries have different charges for one sub. So how much you receive from subs highly depends on who the person is subbing, gifting the subs or subbing. If let's say from my perspective, if someone would give me, someone from Malaysia to give me subs and compare them between someone from the US, the person that was gifting me from the US is definitely going to be higher, because the pricing of subs are really based on regions, based on different countries. They are not like, at least I believe it, they are not like bits whereby everyone pays the same amount for bits. But yeah, moving on. That's I would say you have added a few things, though not really. There are new things in what do you say? There are new things based on the new features and updates Twitch has recently gotten provided. So like this one, you will decide in your sole discretion the benefits that will be offered as part of any channel subscription package, which includes Twitch features make available to you. This one, I would say, strongly refers to that now subscriptions is just not about emotes and all that. You can add your own benefits, although that's also something kind of like a Twitch feature. Like you can indicate that, or you will get, if someone subscribes, like I have already done for my own channel, like if someone subscribes to my Twitch channel, you can supposedly get discounts or like private access to certain channels in my server. That kind of extra stuff you can indicate in Twitch itself officially, in an official manner, right? Because they have provided that kind of feature. Though even though it's not something that Twitch promises, like Twitch can't like say give you a discount for a third-party platform just because you mentioned it in your blah blah blah. So there's that. That's something additional, though not really anything important per se. Though only thing legally wise, I would say it's just more or less Twitch officially expressing that they allow you to add tag on things to subs. What you can use subs for. That's, I would say, this is the main difference between Bits. Bits has a lot of things you can't do, but they are a lot more. It's a lot more flexible with subs. But anyhow, so that's that. The other thing they added into this, but also very vague, is the subscription wait, no, it's not it. Yeah, these are all what I mentioned earlier about the discounts, the special access, and all that. Anyways, yeah, then the other thing I want to talk about is subscription tokens, which is very different from your normal subs and gift subs. And from my understanding, this refers to Prime Gaming, the Amazon Prime membership thing, which apparently has a fixed rate fee. And it's lower than normal subs, as far as I can tell, because I've been brought to like a the page about the Prime Gaming thing. Depending on the country, these subs, Prime Gaming subs, provide different amount of money. Like for me, if someone subs using Prime Gaming, I only get this much, 70 cents. 70 cents per Prime Gaming sub. At least there's something I can tell, like, oh yeah, this is fixed. Then again, I kind of understand why it's like way lower than your normal subs, because they don't from my understanding, you don't exactly, this is like an additional free thing for Amazon Prime users. They can just like give out to other people, so kind of makes sense, but also kind of scummy in that, like, why do they have to differentiate Prime Gaming subs and normal subs like this? But this one's, I feel like it was not in the previous version even, so now they've added this into it as well. But also, again, they have to emphasize that this is not, you know, it's not the same as your normal subs or gifted subs, and because of that, you won't get the additional revenue you normally get from based on the gifted subs or paid subs. I have to tell you, you're not getting more money except for the fixed rate fees they are giving you. And advertisements, this one's even useless. This, like, they don't really tell you anything about how much you're getting for the ads. And I still myself, unfortunately, don't understand how they calculate ads, ad revenue. It's very, very little though, very little. The only thing I can say is that the longer you stream, the more money you get. But other than that, it highly depends on how many people are watching. I would say this is the only method I would say encourage people to understand, viewers, fans of any other streamers. If you really don't have the money to donate using bits, or you have some disagreement with how the revenue split is for subs, and advertisement is the best ethical method to support someone's channel, simply because you're helping them simply by just like watching or lurking in their streams. So this helps quite a bit. For like it's helps quite a bit, and also the easiest way to help people. But still, not the highest way method to like gain revenue, but still something. But it's just it's more rather being convenient. Anyways, then this is the last one. The last one is the one that I think probably relates to Twitch partners only, because of my 3 years of streaming, I've never received something like this before. So basically it talks about that Twitch from time to time might have some sort of offer, maybe some sort of a sponsorship thing that they might run, and you might be able to get money from it. But so far, nothing like this. Nothing. I've not been able, not received anything like this from Twitch, and I can only guess it's probably relevant to Twitch partners instead. It's because they get more extra stuff, you know. So there's that. I can't really comment on this because I personally have not any experience and I encountered it. I've not been offered anything like this, so yeah. So apologies for that. But really, it's again why it's not really important, relevant, because again, none, like just like the other 3 methods of monetization, they don't tell you how much money you get. It's all based on somewhere else. Somewhere you need to find that information somewhere else. It's like, yeah, the ways you can earn money. How exactly? Well, you have to refer to somewhere else. Right, so like, what's the point, man? Might as well just say, like, this entire program revenue probably can just be summarized into one paragraph. It's just like, hey, you need money, this is all indicated somewhere else. Like, okay, sure, why not? Anyways, that's section 3. Section 4, payment and reporting. Hydrate. Again, if anyone has questions to ask, feel free to do so. Anyhow, right, continuing, payment and reporting. This one, important to note, because this is how they tell you when you're getting paid. At the very least, this is the only thing you can really rely on in this agreement. Payment terms: program fees payable by Twitch to you will be paid to you on a monthly basis within 45 days. Pay you on a monthly basis, but it's a 45 days, so it's not really a monthly basis. Anyways, this is the same thing as they always had. They have a really turnaround time to paying you. Although from my experience, they are more or less on time with when they pay you, but especially like when you pass the threshold, they will pay you in perhaps like a week's time, actually. Like after you get enough money and they update the date, says yes, you're eligible to get money. 1 or 2 weeks, I guess, you will receive money. At least this is okay. They have a long turnaround time. It probably is worse back then, but hopefully it maintains its good consistency right now. And also, yes, they always pay you in US dollars. So whether US dollars, I hope, despite what's happening in US, nothing bad happens that causes the US dollars to crash. Oh boy. Anyways, so that's that. They just explain. This is pretty standard stuff. Explain to you that you before you receive your revenue, they have to deduct a bunch of stuff from it. They have to deduct billing or platform fees, licensing costs and fees, advertisement costs of sales, and other costs and fees of any kind incurred in connection with providing and marketing Twitch services. And there's a lot of costs here, but I would say it depends how much Twitch has done anything. But most of the time, there's no. I feel like there's no cost here as far as when I receive my money. They didn't deduct anything like this. Licensing costs, blah blah blah. I would say this refers more to maybe special deals that Twitch partners have with Twitch, and Twitch might be providing them some sort of additional services, all this stuff, and would deduct from their total revenue, which understandable. So that's A. B is taxes, returns, refunds, chargebacks, discounts, currency exchange fees, blah 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 blah. All this stuff, pretty standard. This is the main thing. This is mostly what you're gonna get cost deductions from. Though hopefully just the taxes and discounts. But yeah. Then we have this again, typo. Again, see, there's three separate sections with the same typo, and they've never checked this, which really makes me suspect that this is made by an AI. Anyways, bank and transaction fees. This one also understandable. This has always been a thing. Depending on your chosen payment option. I think the one I chose has the least amount of charges, but also these are all the things they would deduct. Your receipt of this is the next different thing. Your receipt of program fees is contingent on you providing Twitch all information and documentation necessary and appropriate to effectuate payment. So again, they are reminding you to provide all the accurate information for you to receive money. If you don't provide something like all this information to give you money within 180 days following any program fees becoming payable to you by Twitch, they can forfeit your money on a month-to-month rolling basis until such information and documentation is received by Twitch. I think this is kind of new. It means that this basically means that if you don't provide the relevant information for them to pay you, you will still be able to your channel will still have the ability to let your viewers, followers pay subs, give you bits and all that, but all those money will be forfeited. They will be Twitch will just take it away from you and will not be able to get them on a month-to-month basis. And they didn't. You have to also understand this. They didn't indicate that how much there's no limit in how much they will forfeit. They can, if let's say in that 1 month, for some reason your information was not complete, or you have changed your bank account details, or changed to a different bank account, you close your previous bank account. If you fill the information with on Twitch, then some, I don't know, if for some miracle you receive $1,000 in that month, and you forgot that for about 3 I don't know, it's kind of ridiculous, but you know, you forgot for like 180 days, which is very how do you say, 180 days is how many days actually? 6 months, right? It's 6 months. If 6 months still like, oh, did you care about not receiving any money? You will lose money continuously for every month. So if let's say after 180 days you didn't provide the information to Twitch to receive money, that 1 month of $1,000, it's gone. Then the next month you receive another $1,000. It will continuously get forfeited on a month-to-month basis. So that's that. Forfeit. There's no indication, again, no indication that there's a limit to this. Like, oh, they will deduct administration fees or anything. Nothing like that. So yeah. Anyways, payment threshold. They don't tell you what it is again here. They used to tell you over here. I think it was like $25 or $50. I think it's $50. But they don't put it here. They put it in your dashboard, which again could be different for everyone, every person. So that's that. The new thing, I don't know if this is been implemented. I think this is a very new thing. Spendable balance. Apparently, once you receive money and stuff, there's something called receive revenue in your Twitch channel. There's something called spendable balance, and I looked into this for a bit in the terms of sale. It's apparently something you can opt in, manually opt in to activate. From my understanding, it's like a wallet, an e-wallet specifically for Twitch services. This is very new because I've never seen anything like this. Twitch have never announced anything like this. So I'm kind of thinking that the main update is really just because of this. Though I've not read the rest of the stuff, as you can see. Though, let me explain. I would say like, just to take note for everyone, if you're really lazy to read everything, section 1 to 4 is like the most important, most relevant things that will be relevant to you as a Twitch affiliate or Twitch partner. Everything else, like 5 to 13, it's very, very standard agreement when it comes to like I don't know, contractual, independent contractor kind of agreement, or any kind of a standard agreement. It will have all these really standard things put inside here. So I will very, very quickly go through them, explain what they are, but I won't be very specific here. But yes, the TLDR, I would say, is like 5 to 13 is all the things for Twitch to protect themselves. There's nothing really good about them for Twitch affiliates and partners. Anyways, so yeah, they're saying that with spendable balance, you can deduct it can be if you activate this thing, they can deduct your revenue from here from the all this monetization stuff that you receive as revenue, it can be transferred to this spendable balance. You know, payment threshold indicator. Program fees both below and above the payment threshold that are reflected on your dashboard may be used for purchases on Twitch via your spendable balance. So yeah. What this is, we don't know. I've never heard anyone talk about this before, but you know, if you have opted into the spendable balance, you will not receive a payout of your program fees unless you are eligible for such payout, including by being a Twitch affiliate or Twitch partner. You have reached the payment threshold and you have opted via your dashboard to receive a payout. Again, so yeah, they're explaining to you that your program fees will be part of this spendable balance, only be part of a spendable balance if you are a Twitch affiliate / partner. But a spendable balance thing, this e-wallet thing, is something that everyone is capable of having. So anyways, for clarity, you are not eligible for payout for until you are qualified as a Twitch affiliate or Twitch partner and the payment threshold is met. Sure, you know, for clarity, I have to emphasize this. I don't know why people would not be how do you say, would not have understood that. Prior to qualifying as a Twitch affiliate or Twitch partner, program fees reflected on your dashboard are only accessible to you via your spendable balance. For use in your program fees reflected on your dashboard are only accessible to you via your spendable balance for use in making purchases on Twitch. That is weird. this is like, I guess they say it's like, if you are not an affiliate or partner yet, then program fees are only accessible to you via your spendable balance. That is very weird. Like, it makes no sense because you can't receive program fees unless you're a Twitch partner or a Twitch affiliate. But here it's saying that you might have revenue from the program fees. Huh? So again, this spendable balance thing, it's over here in terms of sale. If you have accepted terms of blah blah blah, you may opt into spendable balance. What do you mean if you have accepted terms? You will accept the terms when you oh man, this is dumb. Like there's no way to not accept the term. How the monetized streamer agreement is worded, it's not possible to not accept it as long as you are using Twitch. You're supposed to comply with the terms and conditions in the agreement. Anyways, yeah, this one, I don't know, I probably have to look this up, but I don't think such things exist yet. Ancillary products and services, spendable balance. Your program fees can be used as a payment method. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't tell you what this is, or at least it's not implemented yet. Even though this, what's the terms of sale? It was also recent, this one. Was there a previous terms of sale? There have been. There were a lot actually. But I think the spendable spendable balance is new. Because in at least at the very least in the monetized stream agreement, this was not mentioned at all. So anyways, Maybe we'll soon find out in the future what this is all about. What all this spendable balance mean. So until then, I don't think I want to read too much into this spendable balance thing. So yeah. Taxes you may charge, and Twitch will pay applicable national, state, or local sales or use taxes or value-added taxes. And you are legally obligated to charge, provided that such taxes are stated in the original invoices that you provide to us. Blah blah blah. This is very much you need to do when you're receiving revenue. All this tax declaration and everything, you need to inform people. So that's it. That's pretty much it. Section 1 and 4, even though there's a lot of like terms and conditions here, this number 1 to number 4 are the ones that are important for you to read. But then again, they have limited so much. They have removed so many things that are used to be in here. That's kind of blur, kind of useless now. Anyways, I just want to make sure. Let's just highlight this. We pay you any eligible grants. He's just as make it blah 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 blah. If at any time there has been no logged in activity. Okay, this one important. So here, well, kind of important, but not really. For active, this is probably relevant for like active streamers, not non-active streamers. Has been no logged in activity on your Twitch account for 2 years or more if the law of the jurisdiction where you reside requires. Any unpaid accrued program fees above the payment threshold may be subject to eschewment under applicable abandoned property law, or become extinct by applicable statute of limitation. Huh. They've changed this. They changed this. Maybe not. Okay, basically this term here, the sentence here tells you that if you have not been doing anything at all, basically not even logged in to your Twitch account for 2 years or more, depending on where you live, all the money that has been accrued in your program fees, probably not a lot, but still, you know, yeah, 2 years. Let me think about it, whether this is serious or not, in that sense. Yeah, if you haven't been logged in for 2 years, and it says that any unpaid accrued program fees above the payment threshold may be subject to eschewment under applicable abandoned property law or become extinct by applicable statute of limitation. I don't know if this is like, if accrued program fees above the payment threshold. I don't know this. I don't think this sentence makes sense, because you see, if let's say payment threshold is $50, right, and you have money, you have program fees not paid yet by Twitch, and they're more than $50. Technically, legally speaking, Twitch is supposed to pay you when it is above the payment threshold. So I don't understand when Twitch will not pay you when the revenue is above the threshold. There's some, like, it feels like it covers a very, very obscure situation where the payment, where if your account has money in it and Twitch doesn't pay you for whatever reason, and you haven't been online, you haven't logged into Twitch for 2 years or more. Yeah, this is very specific, and I really don't think it's a thing that applies to anyone. If it mentioned like if it said something like below the payment threshold, it would make sense. It would take this money as some sort of administration fees or something. But anything above it, I feel like it's very, very difficult. Unless Twitch has suspended payment from the streamer for whatever reason, then this could apply then. This term would apply in that situation, but that sort of situation would be very rare. And again, if they put it in here, it could mean that it's not that rare. It means that there are a lot of accounts that I feel like they put it here because they've noticed that a lot of accounts, they haven't paid, they are above payment threshold. They have not paid the streamers because of whatever reason, and it's just stuck in limbo. And because they've updated this with this new term, they can take that money now. It probably is quite a bit of number, quite a bit of people, quite a bit of money if they have to do this. But oh wells. From my memory, I think there's a clause like this, but it's not that much. It was something about just like paying a administration fees of like maybe $50 or something below the threshold, and it's done. I feel like this is more of a accounting thing and stuff, not really anything we are supposed to be concerned with. Anyways, yeah. Next sentence. To ensure proper payment, you are responsible for providing and maintaining accurate contact and payment information through the Twitch services. Any changes to your contact and payment information will not be effective until at least 15 business days after submission to us. So, if you change it, if you change your account details in relation to getting money, it will only will not immediately take effect. So what this means is it's possible that you won't receive money during that time span. Twitch has the right to offset any amounts owing by Twitch to against any amounts owing from you to Twitch, whether on disagreement or otherwise. This is pretty much the same, though. Yeah, nothing too important to take note. Blah blah blah. Please for additional. Please note that the program fees set forth on your dashboard are provided for informational purposes only, and an estimate it may not reflect the final. Okay, they are referring to the total revenue you receive, right? Let me look at the program fees definition again. This way how this is written, I don't like it. Over here, receive fees under this agreement. Program fees. Okay. Yeah, so your revenue. So your revenue, the revenue you see in I don't know what, I guess informational purposes only. You only get the true amount when you actually get the money. Kinda scummy, but I guess it's not really that bad. Please note that the program fees provided for informational purposes only and as an estimate may not reflect final payment calculations and amounts. I guess they are like they're trying to cover their ass and say like due to perhaps like clerical technical errors and stuff that the amount might be wrong. You know, I guess it makes sense if that is the situation. It's like only your balance shows that you have 10,000 USDs, although there's some it's due to some technical error that indicated that, and actually you don't have that much when they actually pay you. You know, I guess it would be like, yeah, so that there won't be a legality problem of like if they were to say that this is guarantee for certain, this is the amount you will be receiving. So if they mention something like that, they will be in a lot of debt, a lot of trouble. So it makes sense. It's kind of fair to have this here. To the extent any net revenue limit is indicated in your dashboard, to the extent you operate more than one Twitch channel, such net revenue limits will be applied to your Twitch channels collectively. If you violate this agreement, including terms of service, in addition to any other rights or remedies available to us, and to the extent permitted by law, we reserve the right to withhold program fees otherwise payable to you under this agreement, whether or not directly related to such violation. They are saying that they can withhold the money. This is important to take note. They can do it as long as you breach anything that they have in their legal documents. Violate this agreement, including terms of service, in addition to any other rights and remedies available to us. Yeah. So that's that. Other than that, blah blah blah. Nothing too important here. So the rest is, oh man, what is this, man? Yeah, I just hope it's just a copy paste problem. I kind of feel like they made this with AI. There's all this C. Why is always this C? Is it my website? I don't think it's my browser is making it turn to C's, right? Yeah, representations and warranties just says that whatever you say is the truth, whatever you given Twitch details information are true, accurate, and they are according to the law and all that. Whatever you say, you do is all in compliance with the law. Pretty standard stuff. And if you whatever you said is not accurate, is false, is a lie, and you will be considered breaching the contract, blah blah blah. So this one, so I said 1 to 4 is important, but this one's also important. Term and termination. So let's see. This term, so this tells you like when does the agreement, how long does the agreement last? It's kind of perpetual because there's no end date, there's no beginning date. But of course, you know, how does one terminate based on the this agreement? It says here, the term of this agreement will begin upon your acceptance of this agreement and will end when terminated by either you or us. This is not necessary. I don't think people write it like this, but okay. In addition to Twitch's rights set forth in section 6.3 below, either you or we may terminate this agreement at any time, with or without cause, by giving the other party 30 days prior written notice of termination. Yeah, so this one is important. for people to know that yes, at any time you can just terminate this agreement. This is the most unfairest thing. This is the most bullshit thing, but you know, it is what it is. Which has all the power, authority to do this, to set this terms and condition. This is kind of like the term that makes everything kind of useless, with all the rules you need to, with all the terms and conditions you need to comply, because at the end Twitch can just say, you know, I don't like you, I'll terminate our agreement, and that's it. By just giving you 30 days that you're about to be terminated. They don't have to give you any reason, with or without cause, you know. So at the end, whether you comply with the terms in this agreement or anywhere else, it doesn't matter, legally speaking. But of course, you know, doing good business means that you have to trust one and the other. You have to feel like the other party is reliable. They will, you know, complete their end of their bargain, and you as well. So the only thing we can hope is that both parties will do their best to comply with whatever's in here, and hope they don't just simply terminate you. But so far, even if, let's say, in practice, I guess I have to say this, in practice, I've not heard Twitch just simply terminating people because they, without cause. Normally they will provide a cause. More or less is because of like standard business procedure or practice. You know, if you don't provide a cause, and if the situation escalates, be it viral or anything, it would not be a good image to have for Twitch if they are found out to just simply terminate people, terminate their Twitch affiliates or partners. So there's that to hope. Hope that things will be alright. Anyways, we may suspend or terminate your agreement and our sole absolute discretion immediately upon written notice. If you or any other user content violates the terms of service of this agreement, and you or your Twitch channel is suspended or banned from Twitch service as a result. If you or your Twitch channel is deemed a repeat infringer pursuant to Twitch repeat infringer policy described in the terms of service, see DMCA guidelines, and you or your Twitch channel is suspended or banned as a result, or C, or copyright, if you are or ever become a sanctioned person. Oh yeah, if anyone that's like watching, sanctioned persons apparently means some sort of a politician, a governmental person, governmental body, a person representing of a governmental body. They are considered sanctioned persons, and they have limited abilities to stream on Twitch. Quite interesting. Upon any termination of your agreement, all rights and obligations of the parties under this will be distinguished, except the rights and obligations of parties under Section 4.6 to 8.13. This agreement will survive termination. Full clarity, the terms of service will survive any termination of this agreement, except as may be otherwise set forth in this agreement. No termination will relieve any party of any liability for any breach or liability occurring under this agreement prior to termination. Yes, this is a good one for both parties, because even if, let's say, you terminate each other and there are still things to be done, for example, you still need to get paid by Twitch, you still have to be Twitch will still have to pay you. It comes to you like, yeah, I terminated you, so I don't need to pay you anything anymore, even though there's still like money in your in your account, in your balance. So that's good. It was good. So this is kind of dumb in the sense that all rights and obligations of parties on this agreement will be extinguished. At the same time, in the same breath, mentions all the things again, most of the things again in the agreement will still survive the termination. I don't know, man. Something tells me this draft, I don't know, I feel like I've scrutinized, or I feel like I've read through multiple versions of this agreement, and this is my first time feeling like there's a lot of problems with this one, the latest one at least, that it's not made entirely by a human. For clarity, the terms of service will survive any termination of this agreement. Okay, that's fine. That's fair. Except as may be otherwise set forth in agreement, no termination will relieve either party of any liability of any breach or liability agreed under this agreement prior to termination. Also fine. Modifications, yes, this one is super unfair. But it is what it is. Means that Twitch can change the terms of service, terms and conditions, anything they want. Disclaimer: this one again also very unfair. It just means that any problem, any legal problem that arises, they say they don't have any responsibility, liability, and everything is the streamer's fault. The Twitch affiliate or whatever's fault, you know, that stuff. Indemnification also, like if Twitch is like sued or anything, you will pay, you will like defend Twitch, blah blah blah. All this is like standard, but I would say limited liability also the same thing. They put it in here, but doesn't, just take note, you know, it doesn't mean that it's always applicable, all these terms. It really depends on the context, on facts, what it is. And so even if, let's say, you've agreed to all this stuff, doesn't necessarily mean that yes, at every situation you won't be able to get compensation or like anything, get Twitch to resolve a situation and all that. We have laws to actually counter all this stuff, all these unfair terms and conditions. Governing law, this contract is supposed to be in accordance to the laws of state of California. So anything in this agreement, you have to look into state of California. In the US, the California state laws, but also make sure sometimes it's not just the Californian laws you need to look into, but this sort of things that like involves international laws would also apply. So let's say you're staying in EU laws may apply, because there are a lot of things that are like involved with online interactions and transactions and all that. Arbitration, this is just about if something happens between you and Twitch and there's a legal dispute and it has to go through arbitration first, blah 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 blah. We need to get into nitty-gritty into this thing unless people really want me to answer them. And oh man, they change all these things. It's all yeah. Who made this, man? Why? Let me see how many I can like tag this. How many? See this one again. See, I just noticed this, like, because it's like so obvious to me. Miscellaneous. if a loan out company enters into this agreement, the individual whose services are being furnished by the lender hereby agrees to be loan out company. What the hell is a loan out company? This is my first time seeing this. Loan out corporation, also known as a loan out company or personal service corporation, is a form of this US business entity which the creator is an employee. Oh, okay, I understand. So it's basically an employee made an account on behalf of a company. Okay. It's nothing really important. We'll notice. Blah blah. Independent contractors. Yes, we are just independent contractors. We are not employees. There's nothing vague about this, I would say. In terms of like, we're identifying ourselves, streamers, content creators, as either independent contractor or employee. We are most likely the former. Alright, I think that's pretty much it for the entire reading of this agreement. It was not too bad, but yeah, like, for me, my two gripes about this is that there's a lot of unnecessary sentences, wordings, phrasings in the agreement that they don't have to put, and there are a lot of things that are like vague, general, not really explained well. The other thing is that the other thing is really just that it's kind of pointless now with this agreement. I don't know what's the point of it. Like, you used to I guess in the sense of like, there's no if you ask me in the sense of like comfortability, of safety, of your rights being protected, none really. I feel like the more this latest version is just like, yes, you have a monetized agreement, yes, you have all these things to tell you that how you're getting your money and stuff, but it's pretty useless in the sense of like knowing what you can do and can't do. Like, you don't know what your obligation. They totally remove everything in here. I feel like they put a lot of stuff into the terms of service instead of like what you can, how you want to make your content and stuff. Just like they used to put it in the monetized agreement, like the simulcasting and stuff, but everything's in the terms of service, which makes sense. Then the monetized agreement itself, the most important things are not here anymore, which is like how much money you're getting paid, what the monetized stuff, monetized features provide, how much share, how much percentage you get from all the monetization, all that calculations, all that things that you're supposed to have for certain. It's not certain anymore. It's all in the dashboard, which they can change anytime they like. So that problem lies over there. Like, as you used to, like, at least for me, I used to be able to feel like, if something goes wrong and not receiving the amount of money I should be, I can just say, like, I'll point out to this terms here that, hey, I am supposed to receive this amount of money, I'm supposed to get this or that according to this agreement. No, apparently not, because everything's in the dashboard, and the dashboard is susceptible to changes, and even then they can, because it's not like written in a proper contract, a proper document, it's in like a dashboard, there's a possibility they can just say that, oh, the dashboard was not updated yet or something like that. Some sort of technical difficulty in changing or like showing the correct revenue you're supposed to get, the correct share percentage, the formulas, blah blah blah. They can do that now. So it's not because it's something that are supposed to just change there as much as they like anytime they want. How, again, it's because how the latest contract, latest agreement has been worded, that gives so much more freedom for Twitch to get away with things. I don't know. The more I stream on Twitch, the less I feel like in terms of monetization, that you should rely on Twitch's monetization features to get an income. I feel more compelled to encourage people to use other third-party platforms for monetization, because of how bad it is. Not just used to be just that, oh, the revenue split is not good, it's still shitty and everything. It's now even worse in the sense of like you can't be certain how much you're getting, because of how they are trying to streamline this using their quote-unquote dashboard. So yes, I guess to conclude, still read this through, despite what I've said here and such. Read through the if anyone is like interested in being a Twitch streamer, this is all a very important thing to read through, along with other legal documents. But also, personally, if you want to monetize your streams, check out anything other than Twitch and decide whether they're better or not. I personally use Fourth Wall, though I would say Fourth Wall is a really good replacement for a lot of reasons. Though at the moment I have some problems with getting my money, but I think it's fine, because what's good about the issue I'm having right now with Fourth Wall is it's all right, because they immediately responded to my query with my email immediately the next day, and hopefully it gets settled soon. But still, like, once that's done, I would say Fourth Wall really has a lot of good reasons for people to use. So much way better revenue split. It's 90% in favor of the content creator. Has merch options, have membership options, have a lot of digital services or whatever ways of monetization. The only bad thing is that it doesn't I don't know, the only thing that, if you're comparing to Twitch is that it's the platform, it's a stream platform that is easy for you to help support the streamer. That's it. Like, in terms of like giving money, providing financial support to a streamer, it's just that, the convenience to just click on the sub, click on the bits and stuff to give revenue to the channel, not to me, not to the streamer directly, because it has to go through Twitch process of splitting the revenue, or processing everything and stuff. And I guess the other benefit would be emotes, but then again, like, emotes are very optional to me. It's something I have on my stream, but then people can really just use. If they can't use it here, I don't think it's a oh no, it's a loss or anything. And the other thing would be ads, but then hopefully there's ad blockers are better. Yeah, really, other than that, if the main objective or goal is to financially support a streamer, really there's no reason to use any of the monetization features in Twitch, on Twitch. Might as well choose other places, Patreon, I don't know, Coffee, Fourth Wall, Throne, anything else, anything other than Twitch. I can say all this because I'm not. Oh yeah, actually, you know, I think they've removed something. They removed the thing. Because you know what? Unless they change it to somewhere else. Let me check. Can't say this for certain. Okay, it's not here as well. Let me make sure before I say this. Twitch partner. If unless you are eligible for software, blah blah blah. Yeah, they don't have it anymore. Okay, that's another thing I want to add. For Twitch partners, they used to have a clause that says they can't say anything bad about Twitch, but they don't have it anymore. Reputation, image. I don't think they have it anymore. If it is, it usually should be in the somewhere above. Representation. You represent and warn you are not prohibited from using Twitch service. You participate in the program. Expressly agree to the terms of service. You have not any user content available on Twitch service or engage in any contact in violation of terms of being contacted. No. Sanctioned person. No, not here. Okay, just to make sure. What would be a fraud, defame, harass, abuse, threaten, or defraud users. Excuse me. Yeah, nothing like that anymore. Let's prohibited conduct. Create blah blah, impersonate, send junk mail, others, delete, move, reverse engineer, modify, interfere, access any website, manipulate, original user, interfere with service responses, use attempt to circumvent any content filtering, attempt to blah blah blah, use legal purposes. Yeah, nothing like that. Nothing like that anymore. Okay. It used to be like Twitch partners specifically can't talk bad about Twitch. They used to have that term. I'm very sure of that. I wish I kept a copy of the older one. I probably have talked about it early in a previous stream, so in the previous VOD. I probably can look that up if I really want to. But now Twitch partners have no problem criticizing Twitch as well. That's the one thing different between the Twitch partners. Now they have nothing different between the Twitch partners in this agreement. Now that I say that, like, Twitch partners and affiliates have the same obligations now, unless there's an additional agreement between them. But so with this one, they remove any distinct terms between them. And yeah, I only referred 4 separate times here, which all includes the affiliates. And even here, there's no mention of partners, no mention of affiliates. Well, there is, but it's not us as the affiliates. So yeah, that is interesting. I wonder, is it because it's probably because they have their own Twitch partner, still have their own Twitch partner agreements, perhaps. That's only I can think of. And they only want to streamline the monetization thing, specifically to bits, subs, ads, and offers. So I may be wrong, but at least over here, it doesn't mention anything different between the obligations of affiliates and partners. What else? Yeah, that's why I kind of feel like this agreement has a lot of less things than usual in previous versions of the agreement. But yeah, yeah, I think that's it. I don't think there is any questions people have submitted on this streaming here right now. So okay, so this will be it. This is, yeah, how long I've been streaming? Yeah, a short stream, but that's fine. So anyone that's watching, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the stream. I'll be back again, I don't know, doing this. It has been a while since I've done some reading like this, but I'll be back doing this more if I have the time. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all again. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me one anytime, anywhere you can find me. I'm easily available, accessible. I don't know. All right, take care, stay hopeful, but be